Hey everyone, welcome back. We're back here working on my Harley Sportster. As I alluded to in some previous videos, I'm going to be doing a decent amount of work to it this winter. And one of the first things I'm going to be tackling is the wiring on the bike. So the wiring has a bunch of splices in it, a lot of crimp connectors and that kind of thing. Some of it's the previous owner's fault, and I'm definitely to blame for some of it. You know, you have an issue with the wire or a light, and you put something on, it's supposed to be temporary, and then, you know, a year later it's still there. Not so temporary. We've all been there, but trying to settle that, you know, once and for all, and make sure I don't get stuck on the side of the road one day over something stupid like a loose crimp connection. So I'm basically going to be rewiring the whole bike, and I'm going to be doing that with the Moto Gadget M unit. Some of you might be familiar with this. This is basically a little microcomputer that's going to replace all the factory electronics. This is going to control your relays, your all your controls, your inputs and outputs for everything: horn, lights, headlight, everything. And there's a lot of really cool features with this. A lot of like customized programming you can add to this. So you know, I'm very excited to get this on, and it's great. This is universal. You could put this on almost any bike. This is going to be my first time installing it, so we'll see how it goes. If we run into any issues, you know, I'll keep you guys aware of it. One thing is, for this one, I opted to go with the M Unit Blue, which is the Bluetooth version, which allows you to connect it to your phone, and you can change a lot of the settings up there. It also has some other features, which some of them make a lot of sense. They sound great ideas. Some of them I don't totally understand how they work, but maybe once I get this installed and play around with it, I'll have a better idea. So I picked this up from Revival Cycles, and they also offer a full wiring kit, which is really nice. So basically, it's a universal wiring kit, so it's not going to be perfect for every bike, but it's definitely a great start. So they give you a bunch of looms of wires, zip ties, a little bit of heat shrink. You definitely need to get more than, you know, this one piece here. It's more of a sample, I think, than anything. A nice weatherproof fuse holder, some blade connectors, these little ferrule ends, which is good for sticking them in, so you don't have to stick the bare wire right into the M unit. It kind of gives it a solid piece of metal to crimp onto. And it also comes with these I believe they're called lever nuts. It's basically a terminal block where you lift this up and you stick the wire in and close it down. It's great for joining grounds or 12-volt sources for indicator lights or something like that. So this is one of the first things we're going to be tackling. I'm going to be doing everything from the controls back, and we'll see how it goes. So as part of this wiring, I'm also going to be moving the indicator lights from up here where the stock speedometer was onto the clamp here. And I also have some new handlebar controls on the way, which I'm really excited about. A little more minimalistic, should clean things up real nice. So these are the stock circuit breakers. These are used instead of fuses, so you don't have to have spare fuses. These will reset themselves after they trip. The M unit controls that, so we're not going to need those anymore, but the stock ones sit right here in the fender. The stock coil goes up here under the frame on top of the front cylinder head. What I have here this is from TC Brothers. This is actually going to replace this bracket here. You can see it has these two holes here, and that is so you can mount the coil and have it right here, just the leads going that way. Now, this is mostly an aesthetic thing to really open up, you know, when these wires and stuff aren't here, to open up that top there. Gives it a nice look, and that's also why people sometimes do the tank lift here, which I may or may not do. We'll kind of see how this comes out. Another thing worth pointing out here is this is the stock location for the choke cable. The relocation bracket for the coil doesn't accommodate this because the coil sits, you know, right in the front here. But this isn't a big deal because previously I already installed a a choke relocation kit from TC Bros that puts it right on the top of the carb. I picked up this little bracket here from Lowbrow Customs, and this key is actually from TC Bros. The only reason being is I wanted to get a key with a momentary start function, so I don't have to run the starter on the handlebars. It'll just be right in the key, kind of like, you know, a car ignition. And so where this mounts is right down here on the primary, which I think is going to really clean it up, but we'll see. Alright, and that's it for today. So we have, what's left here is some of the sensors and the ignition wiring, which I'm going to be reusing. The M unit doesn't control the ignition at all. You still got to use the stock ignition or aftermarket one. But and the sensors I at least tagged. I'm not sure how far back I'm going to rewire them, or if I'm going to use the existing wires. Maybe I'll do it on a case-to-case basis. But I have everything separated out and tagged, and we should be good to go. I think next up I'm going to start working on the relocated items I mentioned, like the coil and the ignition switch. That way, when it comes time, when I start rewiring everything, you know, it's all in its final location. So that's it. I mean, this wiring was a real pain to go through one by one. You definitely need the manual and just take your time and one by one go through each wire and cut them out or disconnect them depending on what it is. And yeah, so it took a while, but definitely going to be worth it. And really, if you take your time, it's not that bad. So until next time. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. There's a lot more to go on this build, so if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button and hit the like while you're at it.